Good morning, church. It is good to be with you here today. And today we are in Deuteronomy 7, 8, and 9 and Mark 15. We just can't let a narrative event of the crucifixion of Jesus pass us by without making some kind of comment about that, is that it is the central tenet of our faith, the death and the resurrection of Jesus. That is the rock. And so we do well to talk about it every opportunity that we can. But let's get a running start up to that as we consider our readings in Deuteronomy today. Just a little snippet out of each one of those chapters, beginning in chapter 7, when God says to completely destroy the people in the land in which they're coming. And later on in chapter 9, God will say it's because of their intense wickedness that I'm going. If we remember back into Leviticus 18, where kind of awkwardly God says all of the things that we ought not to have sex with, and then he concludes that with, because that's what the people in this land are doing, it gives us a hint at the depravity that is going on. Um, I had a professor say very well one time, people ask, how could God just command Israel to destroy all these people, when the real question is, how could God let them go on for so long? And that in itself is an opportunity to see God's mercy on display. But the reason God now commands the destruction of the people down to the person is because he does not want defilement to spread among his people. And this is still a maxim that's going to be true for us today, that we cannot intermingle with sin and expect to come out okay. We need to live pure and chaste lives before the Lord so that our lives are pleasing to him. We bring the sacrifice of praise, not just with our tongues, but with our whole lives, everything that is about us. And so we want to make sure that we are honoring God all of the time. And there's a story of a man who came across a wolf in a pit. The wolf was starving, and it was almost about to die from hunger. And the man takes pity on this wolf, and so he throws it a steak. And over the days, the man goes regularly to this pit where the wolf is, and he feeds it back to strength. And then he slides a board down so that the wolf can escape. And the wolf gets out of the pit and immediately turns upon the man and mauls him and kills him. And the moral of the story is, well, why would it do that? Because it's a wolf, and it's what wolves do. And so it's our sin. We can't feed our sin just a little bit because it wants to destroy us. It's, Satan only has one objective, and John 10 tells us he comes to steal, kill, and destroy. Those are his only purposes in life. And if we partner with anything in which he has a hand, then the only thing that those things can do is steal from us, kill us, and utterly destroy us. And so we really want to be careful and to think wisely about what we're doing, where we're going, the kinds of things that we're consuming, both with our eyes and with our time and even bodily. And so we can remember God. Chapter 8, we're reminded to remember God, because when we're prosperous, and this goes into chapter 9 too, when we're prosperous, like we are, we tend to think that I did this, and I deserve this, I earned this, and God had nothing to do with it, and so I'm just going to accept this and delight in it and move on. Man, did these chapters not sound like they could have just been written today? Solomon really was right when he said there's nothing new under the sun. The humanity in us is just the same forever. And so we are reminded to remember God at all times, and that he is the one who brings about the good things in our life, and he is the one who permits trials to come upon us, that he might test us, that we might know our dependence upon him. Because chapter 9, he didn't choose us because of our righteousness. Paul says, while we were yet sinners, Christ died for us. So it's still true today. Your salvation did not come upon you because you were somehow good enough to earn it. It came upon you because God loves you and he desires you to have a relationship with him. So we'll just always remember that. Always be keeping that in the front of your mind. Because now going to our reading in Mark, in the crucifixion, after the Roman soldiers crucified Jesus, after he had died and the temple curtain had ripped, revealing the most holy place, we know, indicating that the separation between us and God had now ceased. Now, after seeing the way that he died, after seeing the way that he breathed his last, he said, truly this man was the Son of God. Don't wait until it's too late to recognize who Jesus is. There will come a day when we don't have a choice anymore, because every knee will bow, but the opportunity to choose will be gone. Hebrews says, while it's still called today, we can enter into his rest and receive his promises, but that there will come a day when the choice is removed and we are stuck with the choice that we have made in this life, and then it's only judgment or rewards if you've chosen well, eternal reward. And so those are the encouragements today. Don't let sin into your life. Don't have any part with the works of the enemy. Remember God, and remember he didn't choose you for your righteousness, but in his mercy he drew you into a loving relationship with him, and to choose for him while there is still time today. I love you, church. I look forward to talking to you soon again.